Polygamous marriage is classified as the statutory recognized marriage in Nigeria. However, Nigeria is estimated also to having the fifth highest polygamous relationships in the world, with 28% of the population living in polygamous marriages, with Burkina Faso, Mali, Gambia, and Niger taking the lead. Hello and welcome to Green Nolly Television. My name is Ruth Besang, and today we talk polygamy in Nigeria. In recent times, a popular actor has stirred several reactions for taking a second wife, while several arguments have hit the internet. Before we give you more of this gist, I would like you to meet my girls. I have
Anne Onwebiak. Welcome to the show.
And I am UC Royal.
Okay, so today we talk polygamy. So, Yul Edochie has been making the round with several people have several reactions. Let me say unpleasant reactions. So, but my question is, what is his crime?
Hey, you see, you go
Is
first.
it a crime thing, or what is he doing wrong?
Okay, I would not want to say what is he doing wrong, right? Mm-hmm. Polygamy has been there.
Yes, it has.
Polygamy will always be there. Mm-hmm. You know, there are several people who have taken second wives.
Right.
Do you get? So I understand that it is not pleasant.
Right.
And not a lot of us would agree to be in a polygamous marriage.
Yes.
You know, but then it has happened and then people move past it. Ned, Ned?
Yes.
Ned Nwoko.
Yeah, has several
Regina's husband.
wives.
Yes.
You know, so why is yours own so outstanding? Like it's never going
Why is it
away.
raising dust?
You know, yes, consistently.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
I think that one of the good things that has happened in our age and time is that as we continue to evolve as a people, we have people who are no longer seeing polygamy as something to be celebrated. We're becoming more vocal about our dissatisfaction with the system of marriage because, I mean, nobody really wants to share their partner with anybody. But we also understand that it's a part of a religion for some people. It's a part of a culture for some people. But at the same time, people are beginning to say that, you know what, I don't think that this is the way that things should be, especially if it's polygamy, where the man is taking as many wives as he can. Yeah. We know that in that kind of setting, that there is a particular party that is suffering, which is either the first wife or the second wife, depending on how many wives.
Even the children.
Sometimes no party is suffering, right?
Well, they don't. It depends on what you mean by not suffering, because at the end of the day, they may not be suffering. Exactly, they may not be suffering financially. But what about emotionally
and spiritually?
It's very easy for people to come and tell you that, oh, it's not your business. I'm the third wife and I'm doing absolutely amazing. People can come out and say anything in front of the camera, but what goes on behind? That is what people who have hearts for these things are more concerned about, rather than what people are displaying on the camera. So people have become more vocal about the fact that polygamy is something that we should do away with. And now for this young man who is putting it all out there, it's like, why are you pushing it in the face of the woman who is no longer there with you? You know what I mean? So yeah,
she's really no longer there. So
my take on this, let me focus more on Yul's marriage, because I'm married without any prejudice to anybody. Right. I'm married, but I'll see it in the angle that, like you said, I would not want to share my partner with anybody.
Right.
Do you understand? Now, there's a lot of allegation which May has not really come out to tell us her own part of the story.
Right.
Though then she was on the social media space. And there's this story that went around then, or they said that they struggled together while they were very young.
To build everything they have together.
She dropped out of school for Yale to continue. That was where he
Did
felt.
You hear that?
Yes, that she got pregnant and dropped out of the school for Yale to continue.
Right.
Do you understand? So she stayed at home, did business and all of those things, and later went back to school. That was where Yale fell in love with the
other person that
wife.
he's with. Yes.
So there's nobody.
When she went to school.
Yes, there is nobody that will go through all of this for a man.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when it seems like things are okay. And another woman will just from nowhere and jump in and begin to reap where she did not sow. Where was she when I was out of school? Where was she when things were down? Where was she? Do you understand?
Right.
After building the empire, and she's just here to bear the name, to share. So it's something no woman can take.
And should take.
And should take.
Well, I think that we have to get past this. It's painful. I agree, right? But we have to move past this phase of, because I suffered with this person, I'm consistently going to be the only one, especially in Africa.
That benefits from. Do you think it's an entitlement mentality?
No, it's not an entitlement mentality, right? But I would think that it's like, when you fall in love with someone, you're going to make a whole lot of promises.
Right.
It has to be only you. But then we have to come to terms with these realities,
right,
especially now. My issue is this, right? I understand how painful that can be, but I'm thinking that it's been lingering for too long. A lot of people are married who suffered with their husbands, Take, for example, like presidents, or very, very wealthy men.
Right.
They have these women who started out with them, and then they've built. And then along the line, they take other women as wives. Some of them have... I would not want to say that all of them are not living in peace.
Right.
But I think that some of them are happy.
Right.
Yes. Because there are
with
people
who they have chosen eventually.
Yeah. And even with the first wife still being involved. And I would...
The men are happy, but are the women happy?
Do you actually think... not all the women are unhappy?
But the truth is, my dear, there is no woman that will accept to be a second wife to a man who has nothing.
Right.
There is no woman.
Right.
There are still people who marry,
No.
especially from the
rural communities.
Yes, rural communities.
Even with that, if you watch very well, if you watch closely, the man could be somebody that plants very well. He has lots of farmland. He's planting. He has
Or he
something
just
to
has
eat.
something
He
he's
has something
doing.
to offer to that woman.
Right.
Or
Well,
he has
sometimes
this.
it's nothing material, right?
Yeah. Oh my
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's nothing material.
So yeah.
So maybe it's the name. Watch, maybe the person is a chief in the community that has nothing.
I understand what you're saying. I think that there always has to be something.
Something.
For the woman.
Yes.
And
that
that's
she has to
something.
gain from
And
that.
that's something. Isn't always material things. Sometimes it's emotional support.
Yeah, sometimes it's just emotional
And then
support.
sometimes it's just that guy that is, he's a Casanova,
No,
He's
I'm
a
looking
very-
at
But you just
Look at him, looking at
but
both
you
of
want
them.
to
And
stay
then the guy
around the
knows how to
person.
woo you consistently.
Yeah.
And then these women just like, man, we die here like Nigerian people would say.
So,
Not me, Shao,
What I
but
think
these
about-
women,
yeah.
some of these women.
Right.
But I just feel something is not right with Yul Edochie.
So you think he's under a spell?
Something is not
No, I
right.
don't
It's only
think he's under
Nigerian men that
Yes,
are
something is
always
not right
under a
because
spell. How about the women?
You know the thing, I really don't want to get to that point where, we're just saying, oh, Nigerian men did this, we're blaming them and all of that. When it comes to polygamy, I really don't think of it in terms of, men, like a man going out there to like pick the number of women that he wants.
Yeah.
I'm more concerned about the mindset of the women that they pick. Because if I refuse to be your second wife and another person refuses to be your second wife and the other lady refuses to be,
Then
it begins
we'll
to
get rid of
send a
it.
message
Do you
to
know
the
that
men
as
that
much as-
this thing cannot happen.
Do you know that as much as women are not happy in marriage, there are also men who are not happy in their marriages?
Yeah, that's right.
So
That's right.
a man can find succor that he's not finding
It's true.
here.
It's true
out
because some
here.
women.
And
Yes,
that
but-
doesn't
but-
make him a
so
bad
women
man.
actually push
Hold
their
on.
men out.
You can't say. I'm not trying to. I try not to be sentimental about certain things because people can. There will always be a fine excuse for people to do all kinds of
No,
things.
it's not.
Somebody
it's not-
can say that his wife pushed him out and so he found succor in another woman. The woman that he found succor in, did she know that this is a married man? I don't care if your wife is beating you up in the house or whatever is going on, but if you come to me and tell me that it's in my bosom that you have found solace because your marriage is not working, I will be doing you an injustice and your wife an injustice to allow that, to enable that kind of behavior. That's basically what I'm talking about. So as long as there are women who will continue to enable men to marry as many, you come to me, I'm the second wife, well, that's cool. And then there's a third one, and then there's a fourth one. Polygamy will never go extinct. And men will continue to do that. And the world will continue to blame men. But in actual fact, it's the women we're supposed to be concerned about. It's the mindset that forms that agreement to become somebody's second, to be second not to be number one? Why do we want to be in that position? Why do we want to stay small? To be
You think
the one that
that's
is
staying
yes,
small?
to be honest, you're
I
not
do not
being
think so.
chosen.
It's no, you're being chosen. The one thing
You're
You're not
chosen.
the one.
What she's talking about, you
It's
being
not
the
that.
second option.
Yeah.
Why want to be the second
Whether
option?
things are good or bad,
I
they are just
actually-
not.
I actually
let me just
think
fall
that-
back, okay?
Okay. Do you think the Nigerians are being really concerned, or they're just being hypocritical?
No, it's not.
Out
Let's
of
not narrow
10
it to Nigeria.
Nigerian, no, we're talking about Yul Edochie now, so
Okay.
we'll talk about Nigeria.
Okay.
Right.
You know, so out of 10 Nigerian girls, how many, let's say like 5, must have been with married men?
Of course.
Is it because these men did not marry these girls, and that is where this drama is coming from?
There are some single girls who feel dating a married man is okay, but not getting married to them.
That's
there are
being
some,
hypocritical.
There are some that they will ask,
That too
okay,
is
they'll tell you,
hypocritical,
no, I don't want to marry you.
Yeah, but for
But
the
of course,
benefits.
Naomi is provide my
yeah, you
needs.
can provide their needs and all of
It's
that.
still
That's the
same
case of
mindset.
now who then catch 9BT from.
Right.
You know, so I think that, yes.
There's
I
more
would-
to marriage.
I think that-
dating is a different thing. There's more to marriage. You know, when you get married to a woman as a
Yeah.
second wife, she's entitled to a lot of things. Oh, she's entitled
Yeah.
to a lot of your maybe
benefit, yeah.
Yes, as your second wife.
Right.
Maybe in terms of maybe your will, your properties.
Yes.
They'll say, okay, they give the second wife this and all of those things. So that is why it's very different when it comes to relationship and marriage.
I would not want to say that, talking about the North, I would say that Nigeria as a whole, it's not just relegated to the North, because some people have said that Northerners, you know, are entitled, Muslims,
Entitled to us. I mean, their
only to
religion allows them- yes.
But before religion came, we were traditionalists.
Yeah.
You know, before the white people came and took all we have and then gave us and told us that they were demonic, and then they are making money out of our artifacts. I'm sorry, I'm not being biased, but
Yeah.
you
But
know,
that's the fact.
you know, and then demonize all we had, all our culture,
tradition,
So you
our
think
traditions,
they
you know.
demonize polygamy? You think
No. I'm saying that some people have argued that polygamy is relegated to the Northerners, you know, to Muslims, at least because of their religion.
Right.
But we've forgotten that culturally or traditionally, you know, the South.
forefathers
Yes,
used
our
to marry
forefathers,
to
you
marry
know.
mother.
Yeah, so it has nothing to do with religion.
You see the thing with
You know.
that. You see the thing with that is the fact that, and that's why I talked about we are evolving as a people. We're not thinking of these things in terms of what used to be. We're also not thinking of these things in terms of what was written in the book. As a Christian, I would not say that, one of the reasons why I'm not going to agree to be somebody's second wife is because I don't believe, my religion does not believe in polygamy. But it's about how I process
As a person.
Yes, it's about
As an
how I
individual.
see the concept of being a second
wife.
to somebody. So it's beyond what my religion thinks. And so even as a Muslim, you decide to maybe open your mind.
There are Muslims who are married to just one wife.
One wife.
Yes.
One wife. So even as a Muslim or whatever your tradition that allows polygamy, and you decide to begin to think outside the box, to think about how being the second or having as many wives in case of the men will affect you, affect your life, affect your marriage, affect your children, then you begin to see why this is not beneficial. It may be beneficial at the time because you have as many women to sleep with and choose from. But at the same time, do you think about the long-term effect of this? How many people have actually enjoyed a good polygamous,
You know there are, right?
happy home?
There are.
That's what
And there
we
are still
think,
people
because
in
we're not even
monogamous
there.
marriage who
People
are
are
very
not going to come out to
unhappy.
say that, though.
I've not really
I have
seen.
seen.
You've seen?
Yes, I have
haven't
spoken
seen.
to like older women, you know, like my friend's
And
grandmother.
they said they're happy.
My
They-
friend's
they-
grandmother.
they said they're happy.
the entire.
Yes, my friend's grandmother. I have also listened to people more of the unhappy stories, right?
Right.
But I have also listened to my friend's grandmother who like she's the first, and then she has a co-wife, and they're so happy, even though their husband has passed on, you know, and then their children are all grown.
So
and
what if
all.
it's a situation
So,
of they have, you know, when you're in a situation, you just adjust to it.
No, I think that
You just
I think
decide that,
that
you know
have to take
what,
it. Let me
this
take
is
it.
what it is. I mean, he's not
No,
going to
that's
chase
come
this
to
woman. Or
stay.
it has come to stay. You have to adjust over
sometimes,
time.
right? I think that when grown adults take their decision, just like you said, it's an individual thing,
Right.
You know, I think that the way Nigerians have consistently trolled you know, I think it's scary.
Okay.
It's
In-
scary.
in
Well,
what-
he's
in what-
trolling us in our defense
No, the
because
way
he's
he's
putting
going
all of
about
this
it.
in our face, and
The way he's
do you know,
going
you know,
about
okay, let me say
it.
this. You know why we're concerned and why we're sad, why we think that this is a very pathetic case? Because you broke up with your wife everybody found out you got another wife, you got another woman pregnant and all of that. And first of all, remember the kind of ideals that his father holds and how we hold the father in high esteem. So we expected that, okay, the apple is not going to fall far from the tree, but obviously this one is outside of the, the area.
I would not think
but then that's not the point.
He's a grown man.
Now, another thing that I want to say is that after his marriage with his wife ended, and then we found out somehow that another woman is pregnant for him, or that he's married to this other woman. Now he lost his child. This is a very,
it's part of the
a period when he's supposed to just no matter what, give the woman her respect. She's grieving, and you're doing all this acting, all this, keep it up with the yole, don't you?
No, but do you think he's not grieving?
When you're talking about like this, Ruth, you make me.
Is he grieving? I don't talk about grieving because I feel like people can grieve differently. I don't.
Okay, that's his own way of grieving.
Do you know that there are a whole lot of people can be depressed,
right,
and act a certain way?
That's why I said I don't talk about grieving. That's why I talked about his wife.
Exactly. That's why I'm talking about the marriage.
I really like the way he's grieving. I really like it. Yes, I really like the way he's grieving.
About losing his child, right? Right. I think that a lot of Nigerian men, they may not be doing it publicly, but are polygamous. It's not because we accept it, but it is what it is.
What is it?
It is there.
What is it?
No, what I mean it is what it is that a lot of these people are involved with a lot of other people outside their marriages. Side hens,
just because
side
they're not
goats,
married to them, so we're not,
Exactly. So
I'm just so shocked because I'm short of words. I don't really know what to say.
And the people who are bragging is just that they don't know.
Is it because they are not married to their side hens and side goats and side fowl?
I think let's talk about the advantages and we've talked so much about the advantages of let's talk about the disadvantages of this polygamous marriage. Let's talk more about it, because me personally, when I think of the bad side of it, it's enormous.
It is.
It's so enormous that I can't even wish.
Would you want to have 2 daughter-in-laws?
No.
It depends on how you raise your son eventually.
No. So when I think of it, I always say, if I put myself in this person's shoe, would I be able to take it all? Can I take this?
See, that's the thing. People are selfish. People don't think about other people when they're doing certain things. And so because of the patriarchal system we have in this country, you see that men are enabled.
Yeah.
And so a lot of time, they're enabled by their mothers, they're enabled by their wives, by their sisters.
By the women.
They're enabled by women generally.
Because also marry more than one husband. Maybe we
How many women are married?
No, but we can start though.
No, you will start.
Are you thinking about it? Can you even handle it? It's like a whole lot. It's just not.
No,
it's
but
just
I think that there should be a limit.
Yeah.
When a grown-ass man or when 2 adults take a decision,
right,
it's painful to all of us, but there should be a limit. You can throw someone to death. For example, a certain gospel artist some time ago, no one to mention names, had,
a scandal.
Yes. And he died shortly after because not a lot of people, I understand that there are consequences to these decisions.
Yes.
Allow them
His case was very different because he did not bring it to the public space.
Yeah.
No, but he was being blackmailed. No.
That was
a certain blog first
carried the story.
Yes, and in a bit to probably before he came.
Yeah, he came out to say something about it.
Yes.
I think that one of the things that people should understand is that if you are in the public eye, you should be very careful about what you do. We don't talk about this a lot. We just tell people, we just say, oh, it's a celebrity, they can do whatever they want to do. But at the same time,
I don't think Nigerians allow celebrities to do whatever they do. We will come for you.
That's what I'm saying.
We will continue to say he actually brought it to our face.
That's why being a celebrity,
he's actually entertaining us. That's why he's being trolled.
Yeah, exactly.
He brings it to our face every day.
Now we are skit makers. Bloggers to put this thing out there.
And Judy, they are skit makers.
Yeah.
Now,
so maybe they decided to monetize their frustrations.
So nobody is showing them.
Oh my God! Word. That's just what it is.
Maybe they decided to monetize their frustration.
Maybe.
I come online, I can't even say hello without 200 people.
Oh, where's my husband?
And I think I'm beginning to learn a lot from them because I now have a way of grieving. I can choose to grieve
in front of the camera.
Yol is doing. Yes. No. I can choose to take my frustration into skit making.
Right.
So I'm learning a lot from them, if that's the perfect way to do it.
I'm sure we would have more time for this conversation some other time.
Okay.
But until next time, what are your last words?
So my final word is I just don't like to blame one party when we have this kind of situations. Women are enabling men. Whether you're the side chick, you're the main wife, you are the sister, the girlfriend, the mother. It's all of this, enablings that make men do the things that they do. So as much as we're looking at men and saying, oh, they're polygamous in nature, why should a man cheat and that and that? As a matter of fact, if he comes to you and you say, no, I'm not going to do it because I respect the fact that you're married, some of these things will begin to change. And some of them will begin to realize, as a man, I met 5 ladies and they said no to me. I will start rethinking that maybe something is changing and all of that. So yeah, that's what I want to say.
All right. For me, I would say, whatever if they do to you, you won't like it. Don't do it to some other person. That's my take.
Okay, I would like to say this. Please, when a marriage fails, it's not always the fault of the man.
True.
We are in a society where the man is being blamed consistently. He's being demonized, for when a marriage fails. Oh, because I understand that a lot of men have been the problem in marriage, but a lot of women too are the problems in their marriages.
Right.
So not just in this case, I'm not particularly talking about this case, but consistently men are being demonized when a marriage fails. Oh, the man did this. If I come now and cry I know he did this to me, it's easy for him to believe me. But if you come now, or if my brother comes now, and
I say, get out.
Are you sure? Are you sure? So we should have that mindset that
let's hear both parties.
Yes, let's hear both parties. It may not, things are usually not what we think or what they seem to be.
Right.
So sometimes the fault may not even be the man. It could be the woman.
Right.
And it could be the man. But it's okay for us to give men a chance to their emotions and, to their emotional breakdowns and wreckage and all. So before we call this a day, there's no single way as to how a marriage should work. Different people have found a way to make their marriages work the way they deem fit. However, as much as public figures put their lives out there, I also would like to say that when adults make decisions for themselves, let them be. They would bear the consequences, they would face the consequences, but it's their business.
Right.
And so until next time, I remain your host for today, Ruth Besson. So remember to sign up and subscribe to our channels for more premium gist. This is what we call it today. Thank you for watching.
Bye.